As the USAID freeze continues, grain is stuck in domestic and foreign ports, waiting to be distributed to international destinations for humanitarian purposes. Kansas lawmakers and farmers are keen on seeing that grain move and are proposing some changes to make that happen as quickly as possible. Reporter Alan Holdren says there's a strong feeling about that in the Catholic farming community.
On February the 10th, the head of Caritas Internationalis, a Vatican-based organization that oversees Catholic charities worldwide, said the abrupt USAID freeze of humanitarian and development assistance was callous and chaotic, and the resulting harm will be catastrophic. Caritas Secretary General Alastair Dutton said, "Stopping USAID abruptly will kill millions of people and condemn hundreds of millions more to lives of dehumanizing poverty. This is an inhumane affront to people's God-given human dignity that will cause immense suffering." Among the many USAID initiatives the U.S. government stopped is Food for Peace. It was developed during the Eisenhower era in post-World War II America at the suggestion of a Kansas farmer. Food for Peace buys up American surplus grain and ships it to developing nations, which rely on the grain for food security. Kansas lawmakers are going to bat to bring it back to life. Kansas Republican Senator Jerry Moran explained why on the Senate floor on February the 13th.
Food aid provided by the United States reduces despair and increases stability within fragile countries by enabling economic productivity and minimizing the risk of radicalization. For countless individuals around the world, their survival is dependent upon the resources provided by the American people.
Moran is proposing that Food for Peace be moved under the oversight of the U.S. Department of Agriculture to free up grain distribution immediately, also for the sake of farmers.
We produce more than we can consume in this nation, so without programs to export to, our ability to make a living in agriculture in Kansas and across the country disappears.
Kansas's second senator, Roger Marshall, supports this move. He also had this to say about alleged USAID mismanagement. "As I travel the world, I'd never seen such waste, fraud, and abuse than I have in the USAID programs." Both Moran and Marshall are members of the Senate's Agriculture Committee.
But what do the farmers themselves have to say in Kansas? Here we are in Mitchell County, north central Kansas, to get a perspective from Catholics working in the ag sector.
Alan Eilert cultivates 3,300 acres of wheat, beans, and milo, and lives on a farm just south of Beloit, Kansas. He's not worried about USAID freezes affecting grain prices or demand in the short term, but he does want to see the assistance arrive where it should.
If there's things they need to fix there, they need to be fixed, and we need to continue to deliver this aid and get it to the people that need it. We have excess grain. Let's find a way to get it done.
Craig Gingler also farms and has livestock in the area. For him, it's a moral issue.
If it's something that really benefits people, it needs to move. I understand the need for working some tariffs, but if people are going to die from this, that's not acceptable. That's part of our livelihood is feeding the world.
St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Beloit counts Eilert, Gingler, and their families among its parishioners. Dozens of individuals and their families here rely on Kansas-grown grain to make their living. Doug Strothman is one of them. He buys and sells grain and connects it with markets.
Myself and customers alike would probably support, making this a better process than it maybe is today. So, but I don't think anybody, whether it's in the ag business or whatever, I don't think that there's a very big percentage of the population that would be okay with, millions of people starving or dying as a result of this.
Kansas farmers are proud of feeding the world. They're used to the ups and downs of markets, so they don't see the USAID freezes as a threat to their livelihoods. And while they would like to see any abuse or corruption weeded out, they don't want those in developing nations to die for it. In Beloit, Kansas, Alan Holdren, EWTN News in Depth.